The Regents of the University of California versus Bakke was a landmark court case that supported affirmative action and the use of race in college admissions. Alan Bakke, a 35-year-old white man, applied for medical school at the University of Davis. Here's his story.
Hello, I'm Bakke. Like most of you nerds, I had a successful high school career. I was a National Merit Scholar and I graduated from University of Minnesota with a GPA of 3.5. Oh, don't you dare laugh at my GPA, it was good back then. After several years of working as an engineer at NASA, I decided to challenge myself and become a doctor. I applied to 12 medical schools in 1973 and got rejected from all of them.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never
Northwestern University even said it was because of my age. I really wanted to get into UC Davis, and I was sure that I would because my credentials were well above average. I got 468 points out of 500 on their rating scale, and they got a score of 72 on the MCAT. The average at UC Davis was a 69. But guess what? Davis rejected me not once but twice. At first I was confused, but when I found out about their affirmative action program, it was all clear. The college set aside 16 spots out of every 100 for minorities, and even admitted minority candidates with scores lower than mine. It was clear that the only reason I was rejected was because of my race. I was trying so hard to get a medical degree, and even when I was above qualified I still couldn't do it. This has to be unconstitutional. I'm taking this to the courts.
Bakke argued that the admissions program used by UC Davis violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, which states that all citizens have equal protection under the law, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlaws discrimination based on race. He took this all the way to the Supreme Court.
This is clearly unconstitutional. We should let him in.
No, we shouldn't let him in. The other minority candidates faced struggles he didn't.
I think we should let him in, since the quota system used by UC Davis does violate the Constitution, but affirmative action itself does not.
Yes, I finally did it.
Although the court decided to let Bakke in, they ultimately ruled that affirmative action did not violate the Constitution. But racial quota systems like the one UC Davis used were unconstitutional. After the case, Bakke lived a very low-key life and mostly kept to himself during college. He was greeted on his first day of college by angry protesters and reporters. He only stated,
"I am happy to be here,"
before registering. After graduation, he got a job at the Mayo Clinic and has worked at the Olmsted Medical Clinic in Minnesota since 1986. He refuses all interviews and keeps his personal life private. University of California versus Bakke was a huge landmark decision for the use of race in college admissions, but many states actually passed laws against affirmative action after this case, such as California's Proposition 209, passed in 1996. As of now, 8 states have outlawed affirmative action, and even to this day, affirmative action remains a very controversial topic in politics.